Well, good evening, everybody in the Philippines. This is Byron Belka, and I'm excited to get on this webinar once again and share some of the getting started techniques and principles that are going to help take your business not only to the next level in the Philippines, but all over the world. And, being in this industry and being able to see success, open a lot of different countries, hit the top level of network marketing companies, it always happens because of the same things. And that is, it's never because of one person. It's always because of the systems that are in place and those teams that understand the power of duplication. Remember, it's not how good you are, it's how good the systems are. It's not how good things are in place, but how well they're followed, because true network marketing is a lot of people doing a little bit. What we want people to do is we want large groups of people to do consistent activities over a large period of time. And if you do this, you're going to wake up in the future and you're going to have thousands and tens of thousands and even more people in your organization all throughout the world. So I want to congratulate for everybody on the great start that we're having in the Philippines. It's been an amazing month. We've had higher sales than we've ever had, and it's just going to continue to grow. And if we want that to continue to grow, it's going to be based on these proven principles that are going to allow you to be able to teach and train your teams so that the duplication can happen. I mean, a lot of times I've seen where people have a great start, and as long as they're in front of their people, as long as they're doing it, things are happening. But as soon as they slow down, so does their organization. And that happens because it's not based on a system, it's based on a person. And if you want to make sure that that doesn't happen in your organization, now is the time to get your team trained on how to do things right. Remember, the question that we ask isn't, does it work? The only question we ask is, does it duplicate? And so last week, we focused on getting started, filling out that commitment letter so that everybody realizes, what we're trying to accomplish, so that you have a goal, so that you have a plan. And there's a commitment there that the sponsor and the new Rain partner have to go out there and get things done. I'm going to continue with that because this really is a simple business. It's not easy. It's very simple on how we do things. And so I'm Byron Belka, as I mentioned again, and these things that I'm teaching are not things that I've invented. They're things that I have learned from multimillionaires. They're things that I have practiced myself. And it's not something that I read out of a book, but it's something that I've done. And so I know that these principles work. And some people might say, as I've traveled around the world, they might say, okay, well, that works in this country, but it doesn't work in that country. We're different, or this is different, or it's different here. And that's true. There's different cultures, there's different techniques, but the principles are the same and they're universal everywhere. And I've seen things work in every single market I've ever done because it's the principle that's behind it that is the key. So as we get into this, there's 4 steps to success, as we talked about. The first step is you have to have a testimonial on the product. You have to have a testimonial in the business. So get your testimonial. Try Soul and feel the power of that. Now, these 4 steps, what I want is eventually for you and your teams as you're growing, for them to understand what these 4 steps are. And at the beginning, as we're getting started right now in Philippines, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm doing these webinars. That's why I'm doing these trainings, is I want to stress the importance of doing this right, getting your teams trained right. It's just like anything. If you practice something wrong at the beginning for a long period of time, those things become habits, whether they're good or bad, and it's hard to break those habits. We want to get people to understand and learn how to do these things properly and have the correct habits. And I want to get to a point, I'd love to come to the Philippines in the future where it doesn't matter what city I go to, I can ask anybody, what are the 4 steps for success? And anybody can say these 4 things. Get a testimony on the product, put your plan together, which is do your commitment letter and get your list. Then you need to launch your business and learn the rain cycle. Those are the 4 steps. And I would love everybody to have those memorized and know them. Everybody on your team and organization. Because then I know if we've done that, you're going to have a massive team. because there's no question on what people need to be doing. All right. So as we talked a little bit last week about the commitment letter, I want to focus on putting these lists together now today. Now, this is the lifeblood of the business. If you're not sharing this with people, if your mouth isn't open, talking to people or using a tool that we're going to talk about, then you're not in business. And if you're not in business, your business isn't growing. And so having this list of people that you chat with and that you talk to and that you're sharing this opportunity and this product with is key. If you don't have this, you're never going to get off the ground. And that's why that's step 2. Remember, step 3 is launch your business. You're not going to launch your business if you haven't accomplished step 2. So I'm sure this is not new. If anybody's done network marketing or anything before, everyone's going to tell you to put a list together. But I'm going to teach you something different, because the way that you put it together is important. Now, we have a hybrid binary compensation plan. And so a lot of times people think, okay, I got a right team and I have a left team, so I really just need to go out there and get 2 key people. And then maybe they go out there and they expose people to the opportunity or share the product, and they don't do it the way that we teach. Maybe they get 2 no's. 2 people aren't interested. So in their mind, they think, I've talked to everybody I know. Nobody's interested. When really, you have only talked to a couple people. So what I want to show you is how you can put your list together and never run out of people to talk to. Because over the decade that I've been in network marketing, I have never run out of somebody to talk to. There's always somebody to share the opportunity with. And so this is all in the RAIN cycle, how to put your list together. But I want to compress this and talk about your 4 main categories, because it's like we're building a big, strong foundation for a huge business and a huge building. So I want to compare it to a building. If you were going to build a big, huge building, even those pyramids that were built thousands of years ago, okay, what are you going to start with? You're going to start with a foundation, and you're going to start with cornerstones. Even the strongest structures today, even is a 4-sided pyramid. You want 4 cornerstones. If you're going to build a solid foundation, you want 4 cornerstones. Well, what are your cornerstones? Well, they're right here in front of you. Your family, your friends, business, and community. These are your cornerstones. And what I tell people is I want you to put family, friends, business, and community at the top of a piece of paper. Or if you have the RAIN cycle, it's all right there for you. All right, and I want you to think of, if you've printed that out, and just so you know, all these tools are in your document library. If you log into your back office and you go to your document library, you're going to be able to find these things. There's different categories, marketing materials, but if you look through everything, you're going to see that the RAIN cycle is there. All you need to do is print it out if you haven't done that yet, which I recommend everybody doing. All right, but once you go through this, what I want you to do is start with your family and just write down everybody that you can think of in your family. Even if you don't think that somebody would be interested, still write the name down, because that name might remind you of somebody else. All right, so write the names down of the people in your family. I want you to do the same thing with your friends, same thing with business associates that you've met in the past or worked with, and the community, your community or your church or people around you. Write the names down. Now, if you've done this in every single one of these categories, I say I want you to have at least a minimum of 100 people. You should be able to have way more than 100 people, but let's just shoot for 25 names in each category, which I know that we can do better than that. So I just want to show you realistically how this works. So that's step 1, is write the names down. Okay, now step 2 is I want you to go back to those groups. Let's say we're looking at your friends, and I want you to group together who knows who. So even in your family members, okay, these family members are on my mom's side, or this is my dad's side, and these are you're grouping them together. These are my cousins that are my age. But with friends, you're grouping them together as well. And so I'm going to take this list, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm grouping these people together. So it looks like, if we come here, it looks like that, as you can see, Steve, Kevin, Mary, and Dave, they all know each other. Okay, so I'm going to put that together. I'm going to group it together. That's step 2. So now you're going through these lists that you've created. and you're grouping people together in groups of who knows who. So as my friends here, this group of friends knows each other. Now the next step is I'm going to reorder that group. So here's Steve, Kevin, Mary, and Dave. Now I'm going to reorder them in order of who has more influence over the others. Who is the leader? Who is the person that everybody knows is successful, they like to be around, or whatever? So in this category, it's Dave. So Dave, everybody knows that no matter what Dave does, he's successful at it. Mary, she's next. Everybody loves to be around Mary. She's positive, has a lot of energy, very social, cares about people. People love Mary. And then Steve and Kevin. So now I've got them reordered in order of who has more influence over the others. Now, one of the reasons that I want to do this is because I'm going to start with Dave. Because Dave is going to be able to help that team better because people look up to him. Dave is going to help that group better because he has influence over them. All right? And so what we tend to do, if we're putting a list together, is we tend to go after the people that we just know we can get. I'm going to go sign up my little brother because he will do whatever I tell him to do. And so we don't start necessarily with the people that have influence. The people that have influence a lot of times are the ones we're nervous to talk to. You know, we call them putting them on our chicken list, or we're scared to call them. Where if we put them in order this way, you're going after those people first, which is what's going to happen is you're going to get faster momentum because you're starting your organization and your cornerstones with the right people that have influence, which are going to make it work. So now as I put these lists together and I've reordered them in who has more influence over the others, you can see how this goes. Now we're going to start contacting them. And I'm going to share with you a couple different ways to expose people to our opportunity and to our product. But I'm going to start with Dave. And as I go through the process of sharing this with Dave, I'm going to let Dave know, Dave, I'm going to talk to Mary, I'm going to talk to Steve and Kevin. But I want to talk to you first. Because if this is something that you want to do with me, we're going to get you in the business, and together we're going to go get Mary, Steve, and Kevin. We're going to put them in your team. So I share this with Dave. Let's say Dave wants to do it. We get Dave into the business, and then we go talk to Mary. Myself and Dave, we're going to go talk to Mary. Now, Mary sees that Dave's already involved, so she's open because, you know, she respects Dave. And so she already has some of that social proof of what's going on here. We share with Mary what's going on, how the product works, you know, the business, the opportunity. So let's say Mary joins us. So now I have Dave and Mary. Now we're going to go talk to Steve. Now Steve sees that Dave and Mary are already involved. You know, he's going to be a lot more open because of who they are. And now we share it with Steve, and let's say Steve joins. Now Kevin is probably just going to join because the rest of the team's already in. But we share it with Kevin, and then we go and we get Kevin in the team. So what I'll do is I'll start with Dave, and we'll go down. But let's say I talk to Dave, and he's not interested. And I talk to Mary, and she's not, and Steve's not interested. But Kevin says, okay, let's do this. I'm ready to do it. Well, I'm going to grab Kevin's information. But before I put Kevin and place him into the tree, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Steve back. And I'm going to say, Steve, I told you I was going to go talk to Kevin. And I told you that, if he wanted to do this, I was going to put him in your team. Well, Kevin's going to do this. So I want to come back and give you one last chance. Out of common courtesy, just being nice. I have a reason for trying to structure it this way. But if you want to do this business with me, I'm still going to put Kevin underneath you. Okay, so maybe now Steve thinks, all right, well, I already have somebody in my team. All right, let's do this. So then I get Steve's information. But before I put Steve in, I'm going to call Mary. And I'm going to say the same thing. Mary, out of common courtesy, I wanted to let you know one last time before I put these people in the structure that I have Steve and Kevin. And Steve and Kevin, I told you I was going to go talk to them. They want to do the business. If this is something you want to do, I'll still put them underneath you because I have a business plan and a reason for doing it this way. Because Mary is going to be able to help Steve and Kevin. She has like I said, they look up to her, and it's better for everybody this way. And then I'm going to do the same thing with Dave. So if I don't get people to sign up, starting with Dave and going down, then I get them going up. I'm either going to get them going down or get them going up, but I'm going to get them in the business one way or the other. All right? And this is the way that I go out and approach and put my lists together and teach my teams to do this. Now, if you do this with every single one of your categories, friends, family, business, and community, you're going to have all these different subgroups. And if you can't think of names, we also have in the Rain Cycle a memory jogger. So people that you can think of that can remind you of people you can put on that list. So you can use that memory jogger if you're having a hard time, but you're going to be able to put quite a few groups together. And now you have a strategy. See, there has to be a method. There has to be a plan. You can't just say put a list together. Because everybody said put a list together. And what does that really mean? How many people actually really do that? Who has a list of 100 people or more right now? Okay, you've got to get your people to do that. You've got to do that. But not just put your list together, but put your list together and have a strategy. Have a reason, have a way you're going to go out there and expose people. Seriously, if you've got a list of 100 people, which I told you, I think you should be able to have hundreds of people on a list if you do it this way. But let's say all you do is you have 25, people on average in each of those 4 categories. So you have 100 people that we're going to go out there and contact. And we're going to teach you and share with you how to approach people. But let's say you go out there, and the way that I've shared this with you, you go out and do with 100 people. Now, if you do this and you do it the approach that I'm talking about, do you think you can have 7 people? Think you'll get 7 people? You need to have 7 teams, 7 manager teams to hit the top level of our company. Okay, not 10, not 12, not 15, 7. See, this is one of the most generous compensation plans I have ever seen. This compensation plan, I believe, will make more millionaires than anything that we've seen out there because of the way we've put it together. And once again, we'll talk about that on a different day, how powerful this comp plan is. But out of 100 names, do you think you can get 7? Okay, now here is the power of duplication. If you go out there and you have 7, and they all put a list together of 100 people, now you have 700 people to sift through. Now, if people do what we teach them, and they put their list together like we're sharing with you today, you have 700 people. Out of those 700 people, do you think you can get 49? I know you can. Now, out of those 49 people, if duplication happens, that's the key, getting people to duplicate. Get your commitment letter put down and in place. Get these lists out there. Put your team together. You have 4,900 leads. Now, 4,900 people, if you have 49 people, put a list together of 100 each. Now, I think 100 is low, like I already mentioned, but 4,900 people. How can you run out of people? When people tell me, Byron, oh man, I've talked to everybody I know. I don't have anybody else to work with. Should I buy leads? What should I do? I know that there's no duplication going on. I know they're doing what we call direct sales. They're selling directly to people. They sign people up, and then they move on to the next person, right? They're doing direct sales. They're not doing network marketing. Okay, network marketing is duplication, systems of duplication. Now, if you have 4,900 people, do you think you can get 343 people out of that? Absolutely you can. Absolutely. And if everyone puts a list together of 100 people, now you have 34,300 people. How can you run out of people to talk to you? You can't if you're using systems. All right? And I just want to show you the power of that because it is powerful. So your 2 steps that we've talked about now, go out there, get a testimonial on the product. Make sure you're taking that every day. You have an auto ship and you're on there and you've committed to buying that product every month. You have your commitment letter and your list put together. Now you're ready to launch your business. Now you're ready to do that. So launching your business, let's talk about this because this is key. And the reason that we call it launch is because there's a lot of activity and energy at the very beginning. Just like you were launching a rocket, the fuel and the energy it takes to get that rocket off the ground is you're going to use a majority of that energy right at the beginning. And then once that rocket is in space, in the atmosphere, it uses very little energy. It uses a lot less fuel. Most of that fuel is put into the business at the very beginning to get it going. Because at the very beginning, it's just you. You have your sponsor and your upline helping you, but it's just your business is happening because of you. And if you launch your business right, you get to a point where it's not just about you anymore. You have a lot more people out there doing the business, sharing, and it's growing. A lot of times people are joining the business even if you don't have anything to do with it because you've taught your teams properly. So launching your business, here's what you need to do. You need to do 4 launch meetings in your first 14 days. Your first 2 weeks, you want to do 4 launch meetings. So you want to set those times up. What's a launch meeting? Well, we'll talk about that. But this is something you can do locally. This is something that you can do like a webinar. You can use anytime meeting. That's a free service. You can use freeconferencecall.com. That's a free service for a conference bridge. And you can do obviously the international one that allows people to call in from different markets in the world, and even from the Philippines, the local Philippine number. You can use that. You can do in-home presentations for people. Invite people over to your home. You can meet in a lobby. You can meet at a restaurant. There's a lot of different places that you can do this. But a launch meeting is really an opportunity for you to share with people soul and our rain opportunity. To get people, this is your grand opening for your business. But you want to do 4 of them in your first 2 weeks, a minimum. Now, can you do more than 4? Absolutely. But you want at least to do 4. Because as I've already talked about, most people, when they join the business, you have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to help them go out there and see some results before their energy level starts to drop. 2 weeks before that excitement that they joined your team with starts to fade. You have to have them experience something and get a result. That's why you need to get them on the product. Then you start taking the product, and you want them to have a business result as well. And that's going to happen if you have 4 launch meetings. All right, so plan those. What are they going to be? I'm going to do one on Tuesday. I'm going to do another meeting on Thursday. I'm going to do a webinar or a call for those people that aren't local on Saturday. And then on the next Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to do it. See, so you're planning these 4 launch meetings for your team, your new people. All right. So a lot of other things, and you can see in the launch section of the rain cycle, guys, this is all in the rain cycle. Everything that I'm sharing with you. So you have this, but you can do it at homes, apartments, clubhouses, offices, boardrooms, restaurants, libraries, hotels, you name it. Those are the local ones. I love looking people in the eye. I think I have a better result staring people in the eye, but you can do it obviously using technology all over the world. All right. And some people have a couple concerns or they don't know what to say. And we have a whole section in the rain cycle on how to invite people. Because at the very beginning of your business, you don't need to understand everything about the presentation. You don't need to understand everything about the product or the compensation plan. You have one responsibility, and that is to become an expert inviter. So what we've done is I've simplified. We have what's called simplified inviting, and it's really 3 statements and a question, 4 things to do. Just like there's 4 steps to see success in your business, there's 4 steps to invite somebody. Now, you can pick any aspect of the product that you like. You can pick any aspect of the business that you like, and you can plug that in. Now, I'm just going to give you an example. So let's say I call somebody on the phone real quick. I'm chatting with them for a minute, and then I'm going to let them know, hey, Steve, I just want you to know, Steve, one of the main reasons I'm calling you is I just have a couple questions to ask you. Do you know anybody that's dealing with pain and inflammation? Do you know anyone? Now, we all know somebody. Now, the reason I'm just using pain is because I've had a lot of people have a positive experience with our product, Soul, dealing with pain and inflammation. But you don't have to say pain. You can say whatever. Do you know anybody that's interested in slowing down the aging process? Do you know anybody, or are you interested in making some additional income? whatever you want to focus on. But I'm just gonna say, do you know anybody that's dealing with pain? That's the first question. When they say, yeah, my mom. My mom has a lot of pain that she has to deal with. She has arthritis and this issue. The second question, how long has that been a problem? Has she been dealing with that? Whoa. Yeah, it's been years. And there's 2 or 3 times a week where she just really can't even bear it. She's just in so much pain. That's the second question. Third question, what has she done in the past, or what is she currently doing to try to fix the situation? Well, on those bad days, she'll take painkillers, or she'll do whatever she has to do to try to ease that pain. And then the fourth thing is a statement. And that is, well, the reason I ask is because we found something that's all natural, that has 0 side effects, that's helping thousands of people in other countries, that's now coming to the Philippines. Okay? And I want your mom to try it. I want you to see this. I'm actually doing something at my house Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. I want you to come over and get a sample so you can take it to your mom and even try it yourself. And I want you to learn about this. All right. So if you do it this way, now they can't say, well, what is this? Because you've already told them what it is. And now you've invited them to come over to your grand opening, your launch, one of your launch meetings, because they want to learn more about the product, and they want to learn more about what's going on here, because we're changing a lot of people's lives. So the really easy, 3 questions in a statement. Anybody can remember that. 3 questions in a statement. Okay? And so just remember that. Invite them to the launch meeting. We have kind of an outline in the RAIN cycle in the launch section of how to do an in-home meeting. Okay? Now, if you don't have a DVD printed out yet and you have the internet, you can just use Life Concentrated. You can go to lifeconcentrated.com to get these videos. And you can see right there, we have 2 videos on lifeconcentrated.com. One about why are seeds so important. If you haven't used this website or looked at these videos yet, it's a great tool. And then the second video is why rain. Okay, so you can use that website and just play that for people. But let me show you the outline. It's really, really simple. What you're going to do is first you're going to begin by sharing your personal experience on Soul or the business, or how this has affected you, who you are, what your problem was, and how that's changed since you've been a part of RAIN. Okay, you're going to welcome everybody there. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to push play and play that first video. Anybody can do that. Once again, we want to do things that duplicate. You play the video is going to share why. You don't have to. You've just shared your personal experience. Share the video. After the video, what you want to do is you want to either hand out a sample or give them an opportunity to buy a sample from you if you don't want to hand them out for free. But just share with them, or open up a little one packet and have a little cup so people can at least get the taste of what Soul is about. But you want to have them sample, and during this time you're going to have your upline or your sponsor there, or somebody else helping you. Remember, because we don't build by ourselves. We don't present to our own people. At this point, your sponsor, your upline, is going to be able to share their testimonial. If you have anybody on your team that's had a positive experience, you're going to invite them to share their positive experience with the product. If nobody's there to have a product testimonial, then you can just call somebody. And you're going to put them on speakerphone and let that group hear how that product has helped them. So now you've shown them a video on the product, and they're hearing live testimonials on the product. You're validating this to them. And then after that's done, you're going to take a few minutes to do that, no longer than 15-20 minutes on that section. And then what you're going to do is you're going to push play again. You're going to go to that second video. This is how you do an in-home presentation. And that second video, you're going to push why rain. Okay, and then it's going to explain it. You don't have to. The video comes up. You have testimonials from people that explain why rain, the benefits of our company, those types of things. And then after that, what you're going to do is, after that video is done, the video is going to categorize people for you. What I mean by that is it's going to tell them that there's 3 categories. 1, there's 3 types of people in our business. 1, there's people that want to be a consumer. They want to try the product. Okay. 2, You know, we have people that want to do small business, that are interested in making some additional income, going out there and making an extra couple $100 a month. Okay, and then we have the big business builder. So we have the small builder, and the third type is a big business builder. Now, the big business builder, this is somebody that wants to replace their income 2 or 3 or 10 times what they're making. They want to do it big. We have a plan for all of that. And it's really easy if we put these things out there. There's 3 ways to get involved, because then all we need to do is say, all you need to do is let me know, or let the person know. The video is going to share this. Let the person know which of these 3 you fall under. Are you a 1, a 2, or a 3? Do you want to just try the product? You have nothing to lose. Do you want to do this small business builder, or a big business builder? We have a kit for that, and we have a program and a plan for that. All right, and then we're going to share with them really quickly how to make some money. And I'm going to show you how you can do that real quick on one of these other sheets that on our 2-sided sheet. But it's really, really simplistic to do. And we're going to hand out the enrollment forms so that they can fill them out right there. We get them to sign up and put everything in place, and then we're setting up when they're going to do their launch meetings with them. We're also setting up that time to fill out that commitment letter, within 48 hours of them joining us. When are we going to fill out that commitment letter, get your launch meeting set, and get this thing going? Okay, because I'll tell you what, it's very, very exciting when you have, you're doing meetings every day, and then it's exciting when you start having 2 meetings a day going on in your organization, 5, 10. And if you do this with duplication and using a system, you're going to get to a point where 20 meetings are going on every day in your organization somewhere, and you're not even there. 50 meetings are going on in your organization somewhere, and you're not even there. That's what you want to do and get to that point. So use the Life Concentrated. You can do this over the phone as well, where I'll tell people, when is the soonest that you have 15 minutes you can get in front of the internet? I'd never give them the link Life Concentrated and tell them to go there. I'll never send out a blast email to everybody saying, check this out and tell me if you're interested. I'll never just put this on Facebook, because then you're taking away your opportunity to follow up. You don't know when they're going to watch it. You don't know what they're going to do. So I never give the link away. As I share this with somebody that's in a different area or a different country, I'm going to say, okay, when's the soonest that you have 15 minutes so you can sit in front of the internet? Well, tonight. They might say, tonight after I get my kids in bed. Okay, well, at 9 o'clock when you get your kids in bed, I'll give you a call. So then I call them back at 9 o'clock and say, hey, do you have those 15 minutes that you promised me? Oh, yeah. I've got the kids in bed. Okay, go sit in front of the computer. Are your speakers on? Is the sound on? I want you to go to lifeconcentrated.com. And spell it out for them, whatever. Make sure that they're okay. Are you there? Yeah, I'm there. Okay, there's 2 videos. I want you to watch those 2 videos, and then I'm going to call you back in 15 minutes. Okay, push play. Is that working for you? Oh, yeah, it's working. You hear the sound come on. You get off the phone, let them watch the video. And now when you call them back, you want to call them back, either if you're going to call them back on Skype or if you're going to follow up with them, you want to make sure that you can get somebody else, on that call with you to help answer questions. But use that Life Concentrated site not only for your in-home presentations, you can use them on one-on-ones as well, or 2-on-1s as well. And a 2-on-1 presentation is that. This is also in your back office. We also have the flip charts in your back office. Ways for you to present to people. Use the videos. What this is, it's a 2-sided piece of paper that is, we call them kind of a tear-off sheet, because you can get this in a pad, but if you're printing this out of your back office, you just want this 2-sided sheet that's going to basically cover the highlights of our opportunity really, really quickly. So then when you're done, you can write on this piece of paper as you're explaining the presentation, and then you hand it to them. Once again, the person presenting is not you. It's your upline, it's a team member, somebody besides you. That's why we call it a 2-on-1 presentation. You're the inviter. But one of the things that I want to focus on, and you can do this in your in-home meetings, is towards the end of this presentation, what I want to do is I want them to tell me, okay, so how many people do you know that are dealing with pain, that would like to slow down the aging process, that aren't getting the essential fatty acids that they need from seed oils, because that's where they need to come from. More and more research is coming out on that. Fish oil is not even the way to go. Seed oil is the way to go, and that's what we have. So have them tell you, how many people do you think you could that would benefit from this product? Let's say they say, oh, 5, 6 people. Okay, well, what we do is we have a program where if you just get customers, we're going to pay you $20 every customer that you get, every box that they buy. Now, this isn't somebody that's a Rain partner that's signed up. This is a customer. So if somebody goes out there and gets, 5 customers, that's $100. That's $100 every month. So what I'm gonna every time they buy. So I'm gonna let them tell me how many people that they think they can get. If they say, "Oh man, I think I can get," I have 8 to 10 people easy that could benefit from this product that would try it. 8 to 10. Okay, well, if you get 8 people, 8 times 20, you're gonna have 140. You make $140 every time they buy. All those people buy every time, not the first time, every time. So I'm writing this down. See at the bottom right there. There's an opening on that second page where it says by the numbers. So I'm putting whatever they tell me down. And then I'm also going to say, who do you know that's sick and tired of being sick and tired? Who do you know that would like to change their life forever and be able to be, their own boss, build their own company, those types of things, make some additional money? And let's say they say, 4 or 10 or whatever they tell you. Let's say they say 4. Even if they say 8, okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show them on this graph, because it's on this graph. Say, let's just say you can get 4. You have 5 customers, and you go out and you get 4 people that want to come in and they want to do this big. Okay, they want to do big business. Well, this is what you're going to make, and show them the number, and you can write it out for them. And then if those people all get 4, this is what you're going to make. That's the $2,000 a month. And if those people get 4, you're going to see that this continues to build. But the reason I love this is because I haven't gone too deep into the compensation plan. I've asked them for their numbers. And then I've been able to show them how much money they're going to make with that. So I'm taking away any doubt of signing up. So if I can show them, if they go get 5 customers and they get 4 people in the business that want to do it big or whatever level, I can show them the money that they're going to make, and they can see that, okay, there's $1,000 right there. So if it costs me, whatever it costs me to get involved, I can see I'm already going to get my money back if I go out and do these things. All right, so you're taking away that fear, that money factor. And you're kind of not really explaining the compensation plan, but you're showing them the money, and you're showing them how big it can get. And over on the far side, we have the different ways that we pay that they can benefit from. All right, that's another way to do presentation. So today, I talked a little bit about different ways that you can either present in the in-home. You can launch your business over, 2-on-1 presentations with the tear-off sheet. We also have a flip chart. If you want to go more detailed than just 2-sided, we have a flip chart that goes through the presentation. This is all in your back office. Okay, that's step 3, launching that business. And then after you launch it, you just keep doing it. And you start focusing and helping your people launch their business as you launch new people. And what's the 4th step? Learn the RAIN cycle. Learn and teach the RAIN cycle. This is not a sales business. This is a teaching and training business. And we teach and train people systems of duplication. That's what we do. We teach and train people. That's what we do. We teach and train. Are you teaching your people what to do the first 48 hours? Are you teaching your people what to do the first 2 weeks? How to do meetings, how to do launch meetings, how to launch your business, how to understand your role? All of these things you're going to learn in the RAIN cycle. How do you invite? How do you present? How do you overcome objections? How do you get better? How do you launch? All those things are in the RAIN cycle. There is no reason to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. If you can do these 4 steps, okay, and what's more importantly, if you can teach and train these 4 steps, you are going to be huge in RAIN. You're going to have a huge organization that will span all across the world, because you didn't make it about you. You made it about a system. Okay, and those people that make it about a system are the ones that reach the top levels of companies. It's not about how good you are. It's about how good the system is. So I want you to know these 4 steps. I want your team to know these 4 steps. I'd love to be able to come to Philippines, like I said, the next time and be able to ask anybody, what are the 4 steps to success? And anybody could say these 4 things. And if that's the case, I know that you're going to have a monster team because you guys are duplicating properly. So next week, we're going to focus on some other keys of the business and key proponents of the business. Go out and launch your businesses. Have you done 4 meetings? If you haven't, call your upline. Say, I want to do 4 launch meetings. I want to do in-home presentations. I want to do 2-on-1 presentations. All right. And I know that we're using a lot of these tools to make it easy for you. The videos make it easier. You don't have to go out there and figure it out. And so I know that if you do this, the momentum that you're seeing now isn't going to stop when your team gets too big for you to be everywhere. If you don't make it about a system, when your team gets too big for you to be everywhere, the momentum will slow down. It will, because you made it about you and not a system. So, guys, I want you to see success. The Philippines, I want it to be one of our biggest markets out there, and it can be that. It can be that. And we're going to go out there. The bigger this company gets, the more people that we're affecting positively with soul. We're changing people's lives. Okay? And not only are we changing people's lives, but we're changing our life. We're giving ourselves options because we have a product that's benefiting our health. And you're going to have the income to do what you want, whenever you want, with who you want. All right? And I know that that's just not going to affect you. It's going to affect your families. It's going to affect your future posterity. It's going to affect your communities and the people around you and your neighborhoods and the people you care about. So let's go out this week and have your best week ever. And let's have your best month ever. And let's have your best year ever. It's time to go out there and take it to the next level. I want to thank everybody for getting on this training today. I wish everybody all the success. And until next week, guys, let's go out and make it rain. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic evening, and to everybody's success. This is Byron Belka calling in from Spanish Fork, Utah, and we'll see you hopefully at convention. If not, we'll see you at the top here at Rain. Take care, everybody. Bye.